So once again, big fat fingers. I'm going to have to learn how to so this is how to put two videos together or something. So this is what was on here, okay? This is the proper one, and then there's the A-frame would have gone on here. So what was in these two holes was the plates. Bear with me. So they had these on here like this, is a homemade one, and then they had this on here, and then they had some, so I cut it off with a cutter, then cut the tops of the bolts off, because I knew I could look in from the inside in the chassis and see that they were actually so munted over on the inside. Let's just see if I can show you that. That they're not going to come out, right? So what I did is I drilled a pilot hole down through the center, and then, if you can imagine, so it would have been originally, it would have been a bolt like this, you see, in there. And then I chopped the top off, which just left the bit sticking out here. And then I drilled a pilot hole all the way through, right? So the first hole I would have drilled would have been like a 3mm hole. And you have a bucket of water, and you drill a little bit, and then you cool it in the water, and you keep going until you get like a 3mm hole right through, and then you put a 6mm one through it, and when you get the 6mm through it, then you get the gas torch, and you heat them up with the gas torch till they're red hot. Now I'm jumping my gun there. So I'm lying now, so I'm getting the order wrong. So I drilled the hole, got the hole down through, and then I drilled the top off the bolt, and I keep drilling down because there was all this bit of bolt sticking up, and drill it down until you get to the top of the nut inside the chassis, right? And it cleans it up, and you take all the rust and that off, because what you're going to do is not try and pull that out, is you're going to easy it. You're going to wind it down and into the chassis, you see, and that's how you get them off. If you have a look, if you have a look in here, I'll just clean it a bit because it's not blatantly obvious. Right, if you have a look here, you can see where I cleaned the top of the nut with the drill, and that takes all the burr off. So, and then you heat it up, red hot. And once you've got that hole down through the centre of the bolt and you've drilled it out, so you've drilled the old piece of the bolt off the top, just make sure you're in the shot. You drill that off, this piece here is flush with the top of the nut. Then you heat it with the gas torch until you glow this, and like in this instance I've done all of them, get them, and then you let them cool down, and then you come back a short time later with some oil and you squirt oil on the top of it, and after a couple of hours the oil will run down into the thread, right? And then I put this special type, this is a, where is it? This is a special easy out, it's a wedge type, right? Okay. Made in the USA. These are the ones I recommend. And then you put that in there. You give it a tap with the hammer, and these little knives cut into it, right? And of course, what this is designed, what this is designed to do is turn backwards, right? To wind it out. But I wanted to wind it into the chassis. So I used the same tool and it did actually work. Okay? I did actually work and wound them down and in. And the glory about this system is that it doesn't bugger the threads in the chassis. Now you can imagine if I can't see whether this, if I had wound this out and wound all this shitty thread, it would have just buggered the thread in the nut, and then I would have had to replace those nuts in that chassis, right? And that's a really big job. Okay, so I don't. That's now. On the other side here, we got another sort of drama. Slow it down. I don't know if you can see that. Just bear with me. You see here on this one, and what happened on this one is I went to put the centre punch in the bolt and I tapped it and the whole lot fell out. It gave me a hell of a fright because I thought it had rusted it out. But when I looked into the when I finally got it out of the chassis, right? And every once in a while you'll get this. I think it's the robot welding. Right? When I got the nut out of the chassis, you could see that the robot welding had welded it, just clipped it here, just clipped it there, and completely missed it. Every once in a while this happens in manufacturing, and of course, as soon that goes up into the chassis on the inside, and if it's just welded there a little bit, when you tap it, it just becomes a hinge and snaps off, right? So a lot of dramas in getting one of these here where I live. So I made the choice to get the old thread out of it again. And once again, you can see how I put a pilot hole through it and then drilled the old bolt, drilled the old bolt off both sides, see, right? And you can see I've actually moved that. I was gonna sort of show you how this thing works. Now, which way was it going? It was going that way. Let's see if I can do that in film. And you can see just how they work. I had the doodacky for that before. Obviously, if you're ever doing this with nuts, you never put it in the vise and cramp it up on the nut, right? You put it in a socket or something, right? And then you can see how that's just come out. Now there is another type, and I haven't had this out, but you can see how that came out then, right? And then the next problem what I've got is putting that back in, and I've come up with a clever way. I'll just see if you're in the shot. Not quite. Come up with a clever way of doing it, right? And it's so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a hole here, a couple of holes here on the edge, and a couple of holes over here on the edge, on the same distance of this hole here, right? And then I'm going to use this bolt and this bit of pipe to hold it up, right? So if I show you how I do it, how did I do it? I think I've done it with a magnet. I had a dummy run last night or the night before. So we want to suck it back up into place. There's a hole here in the side of the chassis, just enough for the nut to go through. Put that through, bring it up into the hole, and then it's just a simple case of juggling it around. Now, the funny thing about it is that nut will only fit, because of that weld inside the chassis, it only really sits in one place, right? So I feel like I should have drilled the holes now. And then this will go in. Oh, I'm going to have to tap that nut because it's not going to spin. Anyway, I think I'll do another video on that because it's just going to be a bit, because I haven't. Oh, we'll see. Let's give that a quick shot. Okay. Back to these little handles again that I've made, and the tap. Just quickly wind that down through. Alright, I think I'll leave that on that one because I need to do that and drill the 2 holes and show you how to go back in. I just want to reposition the camera for the next bit and then I'll show you another bit, okay? So I've got pause. Right, repositioned, and what I've found at the back here by going around tapping all the bolts is that the bolt here has been broken off, and it's the same principle. So I just want to quickly show you. I've already put the pilot hole down in there. This is an 8mm drill, 8mm bolt. So, and I've put the pilot hole through. Now we're just going to drill the top off. And we're trying to get rid of this dirty material off the top, see? And we just dip the drill in the water so it doesn't overheat. It's the biggest problem what people do with steel drills is they put the drill too far in, right? You're doing drilling, there's a soft piece of steel here and then it goes hard. And you throw it in a bucket of water. And from here to here is soft, right? So you put your finger like that, you put it in the drill and you hold it at that height and then you tighten it up so it doesn't, if you get down onto the hard steel, the drill won't bite into it. The drill itself won't bite into the drill. Yeah, anyway, having fart, so brain fart. The drill won't bite, the drill jaws won't bite into the drill bit, okay? Because that's, once you get up here, it's hard. It's hardened steel. Right, so we drill that off. And you can tell, I might go a slightly bigger drill because that's not much bigger than you just want it a bit bigger than the nut area. So that as soon as it starts cleaning up the steel, you stop. Okay, so right now, I don't know if you can see that, but you see how that is, I've cleaned it up now. Now the next thing I'll do is I'll drill that hole, make sure it's cleaned up. The next thing I'll do, God, it's bloody. The next thing I'll do is just drill that. So you always got to use your meth. If it's an 8mm drill and you're using a 4mm drill in through the centre, that's going to give you 2 mil on each side, right? Now you can see this hole's slightly off-centred, so then you've got to make sure that you're not going to plough out the bloody thread on the side, right? So go the next size down, and then hopefully and then I'll be ready to, I'll give it a try with that other one. Hopefully I won't. Because the thread on the inside will be munted, so we're not wanting to pull it out, we're wanting to push it in, right? Right, so that's at a point now where I think idyllically I need to hit it with the what did I do? Hit it with the gas torch, heat it up and let it cool down, but I'll give it a shot with that wedge if it'll fit. Like you could hit it with some CRC or something like that. See, that's only just going in there, so I might have to find the smaller one. These spanners, man, if you ever want to do yourself a favour, make some of these up. Piece of steel, drill a hole in it and file it out square. You'll never ever regret it. And I've got those stupid little adjustable jaw things. They're just absolutely useless. Well, I've got one, but it's got its place. But when you're doing mass tappings, you don't want to be dicking around with things like that. So I have zero faith at the moment that this is going to move without my old man. See, no. So there's another type what you can get of these, and they call it an easy out, and they have a thread with the opposite way to the nut, and as you wind it in, it back winds it out. The problem is with those, when they smash off, they won't come out, whereas these, if you break it in there, it's a simple case of putting, if you can get to the outside, you tap it from the inside back out, or you just put a nut on it, over it, and zap it, and then pull the nut, and it'll come out, not like those other easy outs. So I think we're going to have to leave it there. I'm going to heat that. I'll heat that, and I'll drill those other two, and then I'll do another video later on. I don't know if I can do the welding when the camera's on, but I can certainly show you how I set it up. Anyway, I hope this information is helpful. Some of these things, like I've been on sites, and when you get good at this, it's a really good skill to have, you know. So I would have no doubt now that that bolt just looks like it wants it a little bit more there. Because if you've got any burr, yeah, see, just want to clean it so it's cleaned up like that. If there's any burr in there on this side, it won't wind in because it's like a handbrake. But I'll heat that up and it'll go. All right. Hope you're having a good one. First video of 26. I'd done another 2-minute one, introductory, and then Big Fat Fingers hit it. So anyway, I hope this information is helpful, and have a good one.